Hey, it's Denise. Welcome to my humble abode. Today, I want to go ahead and share some of my favorite Korean dramas of all time, what I've been watching lately, and what I'm gonna go ahead and watch in the future. Because I have been keeping an eye on a lot of the releases, and I'm very excited for a couple of them because they're kind of romantic, kind of steamy. I've been watching a lot of these like YouTube shorts that highlight all the little like good bits of a Korean drama, and that's how I've gotten back into the K-drama scene. Don't usually watch a lot of Korean dramas because it sucks up so much of my time, but lately I just wanted to take a breather, from work. Your K-drama Chingu is the channel that I've been watching like almost every day, basically, to see like what's up, what's going on, and then get that little like dopamine rush when you see the little like two characters like doing little cute things. I love it so much. I actually want to start off with some of the K-dramas I have been watching currently because I actually really enjoy the process of like waiting for a new week of K-dramas to watch. I don't know, it's just like really exciting because then you're like, oh my god, what's happening next? You get 2 episodes per week for each of these like K-dramas, and then you can watch them, you can speculate with everybody, and then read the Reddit posts and go like, oh my gosh, what happened? I need to know. It's just so exciting. So recently I have been watching 3 different Korean dramas, which is kind of a lot. So I have been watching Twinkling Watermelon, Strong Girl Do Bong Soon, I don't know if I'm saying that right, and Castaway Diva. So those are the 3 that I've been watching right now, and oh my god, they're so freaking good. My top in the ones that I've been watching currently is gonna be Twinkling Watermelon at number 1. I think this is gonna be one of the best Korean dramas that I've watched. It's just so rare for me to like love a Korean drama so much, but this one really hits the spot, and here's why. So it follows the story of the male lead named Eun-gyo. I'm gonna shorten it to Eun because I'm mispronouncing it everywhere. Eun is just a model student, but most of the time taking care of his brother and his parents because they're all deaf, and he is the only one who is able to hear. And so he takes on the responsibility of translating what other people are saying in the outside world to his parents and his brother. It's kind of like translating different languages, and you might have like a similar experience if you have like immigrant parents and you were born here, and so you know English a lot better. The thing is, he works super hard in order to live up to his parents' expectations, especially his father's expectations of him. Because his father is deaf, he wants Eun to be a model doctor, but he wants to be a guitarist instead of a doctor, which is a common experience for a lot of Asian families, I think. My parents wanted me to be an accountant. My grandpa wanted me to be a doctor, and here I am. None of those things. But you know what? We're doing fine. One day he gets into a fight with his dad, runs away from home, magically ends up at this instrument store and sells off his special guitar. When he opens the musical instrument store and gets out, he finds that he's no longer in 2023. He's now in 1995. It turns out that musical instrument store is kind of magical, and he's kind of stuck in 1995 until he can figure out what's going on and how he can go back to 2023. There's just a whole bunch of like wholesome moments and funny interactions between the dad and the son, how he will like get his parents together again, and then how he can like protect his parents. This is a little serious, but like it adds to the whole wholesomeness of the story because they're all there to kind of like support each other, and I think that's what I love so much about this show specifically. So far I'm like 12 episodes in, I think, so I still have about, I think, 4 more episodes and 2 more weeks to go, but 12 episodes in, it's pretty freaking awesome. I'm not disappointed. Usually by like mid Korean drama or like mid to end, I'm like sick of it. I don't like it anymore. They changed the pace. It's boring. There's a lot of filler episodes, but I'm not feeling it with this show at all. So I think you should watch it. It's so good. I love it so much. Oh, the male lead is so freaking cute. And I found out that he is in another Korean drama called Adult Trainee, which I have not watched. It's gonna be something I'm gonna watch after all my other all the other Korean dramas I just started. And essentially this other Korean drama that he's in is about an adult trainee, I guess. All I know is that he's in it, and that there's this other girl that's in it, and woo, it is a steamy gal event. I've been watching the highlights, and I gotta say, wow, it is a steamy show, okay? At least 3 episodes of it will be steamy because that's when those two will be doing the devil's tango. I'm just kidding. It's not that steamy. It's steamy that it implies it, because Korean dramas usually do not, you know, they do not delve too much into it, but this one is steamy. It's a little cute. Oh my god, it's getting so hot because I'm getting so heated about these Korean dramas. So the next Korean drama that I have been watching lately is called Strong Girl Namsoon, not Strong Girl Bongsoon. That was another one. That was season 1. I'm now watching season 2 of that Korean drama that I previously watched. It's not my favorite. I think it's a little cheesy. I think it's cute, but it's not my favorite. There is a lot of filler episodes and a lot of like things going on, but that's not entirely bad if you just want something to like casually watch. It's essentially about this girl who's like incredibly strong. She gets lost in Mongolia and her parents are trying to find her, but they're not able to, so she grows up in Mongolia for about 20-ish years or something. She finally comes to Korea when she's around like 20 something, and she has no idea about how Korea works really. It's a capitalistic society and she's learning the ropes as she goes along, gets into all sorts of troubles, becomes homeless, meets a new detective that will probably be her boo thing, you know, and then finds her parents eventually. Like, this is like all, you know, it will happen, so I'm not spoiling anything. And eventually you find out there is a villain in the story and he's kind of a hottie. Everybody is simping over him. It's kind of troublesome because he's a kind of a killer, you know, but he's kind of a hot killer. It makes me trouble too. It makes me trouble. Oh, he's just so nice to her. He just has the sweetest smile when he's around her and it just makes your heart melt, but he's such a dick around everybody else, so that kind of is a turn off. I think this is a good show. Is it my favorite yet? No, I don't think so. I love the female lead because she is the girl in Squid Game. She is an amazing actress. She's so good. Like, her duality, she can be like rather harsh in some Korean dramas and she can be also like really naive and innocent in another one, like this one specifically. Next up, we have Castaway Diva, and it is so amazing. The female lead in this Korean drama is also the same female lead in Extraordinary Woo, and I'll talk about that later because it is one of my favorites. And I love her so much. She is in some of my favorite Korean dramas, honestly. I was so excited to see her in this Korean drama, and I wasn't really expecting much from this Korean drama because, like, how can you have multiple hits in year after year, right? Like, it's not possible, but this does add it. So this Korean drama does have some more like difficult topics that it does deal with, such as self-harm and parental abuse, so keep that in mind. But definitely overall, the tone of this Korean drama is not like really sad, but it is overall super fun and super relaxing so far. But I have no idea about the later episodes. It could get worse later on. This Korean drama is by the writers of another Korean drama called Startup, and I did not like it. The rule that I have is the first guy that I see in the Korean drama is always going to be the male lead. He has to be like the most helpful, he has to be the nicest, right? I'm already set on this guy being the male lead, and then Startup, the Korean drama, was like, no, we don't need that guy. He'll be the second lead. We'll get this other handsome guy be the main romance. I was so sad, and I was like, what's going on? And so I just stopped. But I really love Castaway Diva, and the reason why this is because it's about a girl. She's from the countryside. She absolutely loves singing. She meets this boy, and he does not like singing. He doesn't even like her. He thinks she's too happy and stuff. But they find that they have a shared experience, and he finds out that she also has a not so great home situation. And because of that, he kind of is like, oh, she's not so different from me after all. And he basically helps her run away, but something happens, and so she becomes a castaway. I'm not gonna speak about too much of the specifics because I definitely think the actual like show itself, it was so good when you watched it initially, so I'm not gonna go too much into how that all happened. But she's a castaway now, and she's a castaway for like 15 years. When she was 15 years old, all the way until she's like 30 years old. So her dreams of being a singer is dwindling more and more. But eventually she gets off of the island, and then she tries to find the boy that helped her originally. But by this time she's like 30 years old. It's 15 years already. A lot of things have changed, so it's really difficult for our female lead to actually find him. It's just so fun, and I want to see how she grows. I want to see if she one day becomes a singer and everything. And it's just the relationship she has with like her idol is so sweet and so cute, and it's just it's like a found family. Very wholesome. I absolutely love this Korean drama so far. So in Castaway Diva, the female lead is also in another Korean drama called Extraordinary Woo, and it was amazing. At the time, I think it was around 2022 or something like that, everybody was talking about this show because it was absolutely amazing. Now, the reason why it's so amazing is because it's an episodic show, so each show is about a new case and it follows the story of an autistic lawyer named Woo Young-woo.
제 이름은 똑바로 읽어도 거꾸로 읽어도 우영우입니다. 기러기 토마토 스위스 인도인 별똥별 우영우. 역삼요?
She's so incredibly smart, has an incredibly high IQ, and an amazing memory. Just seeing her work through all these different cases is so fun and interesting. There's so much going on in this Korean drama. There's romance, there's like legal drama, there's comedy, there's just all sorts of things. It's just so fun to see how she's gonna figure out different ways to do things that other people in the show don't realize or don't think about. A lot of people look down on her because of her autism, but that's actually one of her strengths in this show, and I love seeing how she kind of like explores all that and also finds romance in this Korean drama. It's just the most wholesome Korean drama ever, and I love it so much, and I'm so excited for season 2. If you love strong career women, you're gonna absolutely love Search WWW. It is a story about 3 career women who put everything on the line for their careers. Also find romance, so there is a factor of romance in the story, but I think it's so mainly just about like how they're gonna work through all these like situations and issues and triumph at the end. This is a Korean drama that I watched like quite a while ago. It was around 2019 when it was like first released, and it was such an amazing Korean drama when I initially watched it. It has been a while since I watched it. I really want to rewatch it because I love the relationship that the second female lead and male lead has with each other. It is just super wholesome how they kind of like support each other, and I think that is what's missing in the first couple's relationship. It's like they're still supportive, but they're just not as like cute and wholesome as the second one. And that one is like so cute. I love like strong women in power, and there's just like a whole bunch of dynamics working along. It's not an action sort of like Korean drama. It's more of like the drama between working women and 2 different companies as they kind of fight to remain in power. It's amazing. I really like this Korean drama. You should check it out too. I'm gonna start with one of my absolute favorites. This is a pretty old Korean drama. It came out like in 2013, so it's been 10 years, and I still remember it to this day, and I have watched it multiple times because it's so good. It's called Reply 1994, and it's part of a series of Korean dramas. So there's like Reply 1988, there's Reply something something, I don't remember. But one of my favorites is Reply 1994, and it is genuinely special. As it says in the name, it's set in 1994, and it follows a group of college students who are going to school and move into this boarding house. Now, at the beginning, most of them, if not all of them, are strangers. At the beginning, they're not friends, okay? They're kind of like a weird bunch, but they slowly get to know each other better, and there are also other characters that come into the story that you'll meet along the way, and I think that's something I'm gonna leave to you. But what's really so special about the show is how they interact with each other and how the relationship blooms and how their friendships bloom and all the little twists and turns of this show. I think that's the specialty of the Reply series, and I definitely recommend all the other series as well if you're into these types of shows that are set in another time period. It's so interesting to see how people lived during that time, especially in Korea. I'm born past 1994, so I never experienced life in 1994, so it's very interesting to see. One of my favorite things is obviously the connections that people have with each other, especially in Korean dramas and shows and games and whatever. And this is another Korean drama that I feel has like a strong bond between all the characters as they grow up and they live together. And that's Hello My 20s. This is one of my other favorite Korean dramas. And at first, when I initially watched it, I actually didn't really like it because some reason it just didn't click with me until like a couple episodes in. Kind of like when you watch like Parks and Recs, and at the beginning you're like, I don't get it. Then as you continue watching it, you kind of like relate to the characters and you start really becoming attached to them as people and characters, and how they interact with each other just is so incredibly wholesome, and how they deal with their situations. So this Korean drama is about a set of college students, just like in the previous ones. This time it's just all girls, and they're all moving in to live in this apartment. Thing is, all of them are very different. One is kind of a flirty girl. One is like super hardworking. She is working day and night and she doesn't really have time for herself. One is really innocent and really doesn't know anything, but she is learning a lot of things as she continues going on. She's also very introverted, so it's very hard for her to open up to everybody at first. And the last one is a girl who is in a really like toxic relationship with her boyfriend. It's a whole situation and there's a whole saga about it. And at the beginning they're totally like at odds and they don't really like each other, but towards the end of the show you really see how they connect with each other and how they become such good friends, and I just love it. Okay, just watch it. Next is a Korean drama that I watched a couple of years ago, I think around the pandemic time, called Our Beloved Summer. So it is about two ex-lovers. So they met in high school. They're totally different. They're completely opposite. And they eventually fall in love while they're filming a documentary. Thing is, this documentary becomes incredibly popular and goes viral online. But the thing is, after a couple of years, they already broke up. But because the documentary was so popular, they wanted to get the two high school students back together and film another documentary in order to kind of revive that dynamic again. And as they meet each other again, they overcome some difficulties, they get into more difficulties, and it's just a whole situation. And the thing is, usually I find these types of stories really annoying because the back and forth is like so stupid and annoying, and I'm just like, get together already, hurry up. But what makes it so interesting is that these characters are so different from each other, and even so, you learn more and more about how each of them treat each other and how they ended up the way they did and how they ended up back to where they will be, which I'm not going to say about because I want you to figure out that yourself by watching it. But it's generally an interesting story. I think it's super wholesome. There is definitely some drama. It's gonna be a back and forth, so if you're not into that, you might want to skip this, but I think you might be surprised. It was something I genuinely enjoyed a lot, and you might too. I already talked about this in my previous video, so I won't get into it as much in this video, but one of my favorite Korean dramas is See You in My 19th Life, and I already talked about it in my current favorites video because it's so amazing, but I want to talk about it again because it's so good. It's about a girl who is reborn again and again, and she doesn't know why, but every single time she's reborn, she remembers all of her previous lives, and by the time that she's like 9 years old, around that time, that's when she regains all of her previous memories from all of her past lives as like a man, as a woman, as a child, as all sorts of different people over time. Poor, rich, she's done it all. But the thing is, after all these years, your lives kind of start to blur together. Like, all the people aren't as special as they used to be. But one day she meets this boy and she's like, oh my god, this boy is just something about him is different. I personally think it's like a normal boy, but she finds, well, this boy is like special. And the thing is, she's the tutor of this boy. Don't worry, they're like around the same age, so it's not weird or anything. Obviously it's still weird. By this time she's like lived 18 lives and this kid is like, I don't know, 8 years old or something, so it's kind of odd. But you know, let's get past that. She's like, oh, I love this kid so much because he makes me feel like I'm actually like 9 or 10 years old, my actual age at this current time, because after all of these years I've had so much trauma and I just want to be a kid again. But some things happen. She gets reborn. She wants to find this boy again, and when she's reborn again, she's like 8 years old or 9 years old, and she's like trying to search for this boy, and it's just hilarious, the dynamic of how she's talking to everybody else, especially people that she's known in her past life. She's talking to them as if she's like an uncle when she's like a 9-year-old child, and it's just hilarious.
삼촌 맞지 너? 아야 삼촌이 너 애 주신 지 어버 키웠어. 애견이 너 일찍 조실부모 하는 바람에 삼촌이 장가도 안 가고 애 도둑이랑 댕기면서 키웠다고.
그러지, 그것은 그러지.
Definitely check this out. It's super fun. It's super wholesome. The ending might trip some people up though. So those are the Korean dramas that are my absolute favorites. Hopefully this was an okay video because honestly I was just like, you know what I want to do? I want to talk about my favorite Korean dramas. That's what I'm gonna do today, and started filming. So there's no script or anything. I just literally went, okay, it's time to film. Beep boop. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want me to talk about more Korean dramas, let me know in the comments. Or anime. I love anime too. See you in the next one. Bye.